If I had to pay a tax on this tiny seed or this big old plant that it grows into, I'd probably opt to pay a tax on the seed. It's smaller, right? Just smaller tax. Check this out. You see these? Those are broccoli seeds. It has always blown me away how such a small seed contains everything for a plant to grow into, whether it's broccoli or otherwise. This little tiny seed grows into this big old plant right here, and this will keep going. Isn't that wild? Every seed planted represents one contribution to my retirement account. They all grow. Again, would you rather pay tax on the seed or on the harvest?
Thank goodness we don't have to pay a tax on our seeds and on the plants we grow, because I know that if I had to, I would be broke because I plant a lot. However, we do have to pay taxes on our income, and we have options to help manage those taxes, especially if we're saving for retirement. Two of those options are the Roth IRA and the Traditional IRA. Let's break it down here for you in the real world, not in the garden world. Traditional IRAs, you get a deduction when you contributed to it. For example, if I put $1,000 into my traditional IRA and I make $100,000 a year, I'm only paying taxes on $99,000. However, a Roth IRA, I don't get to deduct that contribution from my income. So if I make $100,000 a year and I make that same $1,000 contribution to my Roth IRA, I don't get to deduct it, meaning I pay taxes on the full $100,000 of income. So then why would I ever choose a Roth over the traditional? Well, you saw in my garden analogy that that really small seed represents your contribution, your $1,000 contribution. And that contribution grows over time into something bigger. In both a traditional and a Roth IRA, as it grows, you pay no taxes. We call that tax deferral. So growth is tax deferred. Taxes are deferred until some future time when you spend money. Now in a traditional IRA, you pay 100% taxes on the money you take out in retirement. Right, so in the broccoli analogy, every time you go harvest some of that broccoli to eat, you gotta pay a tax. Every time you take money out of your account, you gotta pay a tax at ordinary income tax rates. We have no idea what the tax rates will be 20, 30 years from now, depending on how long you have to withdraw the money. In a Roth IRA, since you already pay tax on the contribution, 100% of the money you take out of that account in retirement comes out income tax free. So you can harvest it all the time as long as there's money in there and you never pay a tax on it. Now, the same applies for traditional 401k contributions and Roth 401k contributions. So there's a couple questions you have to answer to decide if a Roth is better than a traditional for you. I'm not gonna cover them all here, but in essence, if you think that you're gonna be in a higher tax bracket when you retire, Roth makes sense today. If you have a really long time before you retire and your contribution has a really long time to grow, it might make sense to make a Roth contribution today. If you're closer to retirement and you're in a really high tax bracket, now really high tax bracket is relative to some people. That's why it's a good idea to have a conversation with your financial planner when you make this decision. But sometimes the traditional makes more sense to get that deduction today, and there's a good chance that you'll be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. Again, which plan is right for you? I don't know. It makes sense to sit down with your financial advisor, to sit down with your financial planner and make that determination. However, just consider the differences between the two. If you're a business owner and you're trying to determine what is best, a Roth contribution or a traditional contribution, we'd love to sit down and have that conversation with you here at Plan Wisely Wealth Advisors. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Check out this broccoli plant. I've already harvested it once, and there's more crowns for me to harvest. Think of that as every distribution from your Roth IRA. Every time I come out here and I harvest a piece of this broccoli, no tax, because I already paid on the seed. Nothing to worry about. I keep coming back. I'm not worried about taxes.